Hello everybody and welcome to the 6th round of the 2004 GP2 season, the inaugural season of GP2. We are back, not for Brands Hatch. The mod doesn't really work all that well, so I switched it back to Silverstone but didn't make graphics in time. So we are going to the Silverstone circuit, in which we will see 30 laps ahead of the drivers. I'm once again joined by Jose Medrano for GP2.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to an actually calm race instead of the mess that was Monaco. Now we have, as he said, we have a little bit of a problem with Brands Hatch, so yeah, no graphics for you guys today.
We can, however, show you the last race results, in which we saw, through a chaotic round which involved a red flag, a Team Chimera Autobacks 1-2 with Kanishi taking home a first GP2 victory for not only him, but also the team. Kataoka in second, Tony Valander getting on the podium for the first time this season, with Kosuke Matsura also there up in 4th place. As well, we saw the debutant of Johan Koisma for Supernova Racing. He did a great job in place of Valerio Scasalati. His 5-race contract certainly will be thought about being extended, as he scored points on his debut. Further back, we saw 13 cars reach, actually 12 cars reach the checker flag, 14 of them classified though, as Liuzzi and Mello both retired in the late stages. And those are the remainder of the retirements from that race. In the drivers' standings though, the couple points that Heikki Kovalainen got from that race means that he extends his margin at the top of the field, 28 points. That's 6 more than Vitantonio Liuzzi in second. Further back we've got Christian Klein still kind of close in that battle for the title, at least as with Kanayoshi. Actually, I just realised these numbers are all wrong, or the driver numbers are all wrong, so don't have a look at those, but the drivers and the points are correct. So Kanayoshi in 4th, Mello 5th, and Auinger in 6th. Valander getting his first podium of the season sees him now in double digits for the season, as we have had 18 drivers so far scoring points this season, as we have seen Johan Koisma score 3 and Valerio Scasalati score 1. Do you have any predictions for who will possibly take victory here today, Jose?
Well, I think it's going to be a return to what we usually have seen, fights between Kovalainen and Klein for the win. Maybe Liuzzi will get into the action as well, but I really don't know. From my point of view, I really hope it's Kanishi in there as well, but being realistic, it's going to be between Kovalainen and Klein, really. Maybe Mello can have a say in it as well. He did have some good pace in Catalonia, but yeah, that's really it.
Well, if you thought that the Drivers' Championship standings were close, have a look at the Constructors' standings, where we can see that between the top 3 teams, there is just 2 points separating Demblo Arvis, Arden International and Mirage Motorsport, as a 1-2-4 Team Chimera Autobacks also sees them fairly close behind as well, just 5 points separating the top 4 teams, as Supernova, with more points on the board, sees them in 5th, ahead of Gillette Motorsports, Turismo, Durango, Coloni and Richard Peor Excellence. All 10 teams so far have scored points. I think it's going to be anyone's guess as to who will be taking the Constructors' Championship lead today, but without further ado then, let's get this qualifying session underway when I can actually find the button. There we go. I've just realised something. Oh, why... The time for the qualifying is wrong. Well done, me. This will be a great time where, if you haven't already, be sure to grab a drink and some snacks, because I need to reset this qualifying, because I definitely set it to 20 minutes. Thank you, game. Great job. Did it set my pit strategies at least?
That's a tractor for every one of you. Dimitri, who do you think will grab pole today here at Silverstone?
I'm going to say Vitantonio Liozzi. He's been in good form recently, and you know he's been he has been there or thereabouts. In Monaco, he was in second place before he retired with just 3 laps to go with a gearbox failure.
Yeah, I'd place my bets in Liuzzi as well. Maybe we can see some surprises from Clean, or maybe even Kovalainen. The fight between those three is going to be really interesting to see today. Liuzzi with an upwards pace, Clean and Kovalainen still to each other's necks. Today is going to be some really, really good fun.
That's very strange. That's very strange indeed. Okay. Oh, I know what I've done.
What have you done?
Let me just check something. British Grand Prix. You can't see what I'm doing right now, but I'm just going through files. Aha, yep, there it is. Right, let me just switch to a different thing. Actually, switch back to that, because what I need to do now is reset the game. But if any of you guys remember, I had to reset the game in Monaco as well. Yeah, safe to say I did not go well restarting the game while having it on stream, because I got copyright striked for the music that's put in the intro for the mod, which is brilliant. Oh yeah, BRB music incorrect, lol. I made sure as well that I tried to make it correct. I'm just stupid. Right, that should be correct now. Yes, there we go. Hooray! Bad start, dislike. Be sure to get your dislikes in, guys. Start
like
delayed by 15 minutes.
Oblivion.
Right, we've got the correct amount of qualifying time now.
I'm just reading some messages from chat earlier on. Horizon 40 Chimera dominance made more fans. Just wait until they start to wake up, mate. Just you wait. Confidence is high at Hokkaido.
Okay, we've got Jeffrey Van Hooydonk, Christian Klein, Matthias Lauda, and Tony Verlander also out there. Actually, we've got a lot of drivers coming out almost immediately. As, yeah, we're seeing on board here with, well, now we're on board with Christian Klein, as he makes his way now down the Hangar Straight. We expect to see a lot of overtaking into corners such as this one right here, which is Stowe Corner, into Club as well, or rather into, is this Vale? No, yeah, this is the Vale chicane, and then they go into Club, yeah. Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of overtakes today. Hopefully, it could be a good race weekend. As here we see Christian Klein, but the first one to be setting a lap will be Jeffrey Van Hooydonk in the Gillet Motorsport car. Hokkaido, that medical facility raided by some barcoded bold dude, aka not Benny. That's crazy. Was it Benny?
That event, which was near the current HQ of Chimera Autosport, is not to be debated by its team owner. If we do, we'll get bankrupt. So that I'm just gonna say it probably happened.
Yeah, I don't think I said hello to everybody actually. Hello, Benny, Keo, FF, Horizon, Jesse. We also got Jeffrey. I don't know if it's
and James.
No. And James. Harrison first, yeah, it's because I have to sit in one of the cars to get the plug-in to work, as well as Sampas and Casey. Welcome in. Yeah, it's I sit in the test car because for some reason the plugin that I've got, so do you know, with the table and the minimap and so on, it only shows up with the table, like, so the gap on the left, the gap to leader thing on the left, it only shows that when I'm in no player mode, which is quite annoying when I'm doing stuff like this, which means I have to be a player. Fortunately, though, unlike in Monaco, if you remember Monaco, I could not get my AI to crash out the race. But fortunately, I have bound some things to make sure that I can stall on the grid. Am I losing my voice? I don't think so.
Sound fine to me.
I feel perfectly fine. Sound pass? Might need some water, maybe.
Yeah, I probably need a little bit of a drink.
I've had a lot of water today. Water is good. And so is this lap from Jeffrey Van Hooijdonk, as he actually does complete the lap to go to the top of the times of one driver to set a lap time so far, but is quickly beaten by Christian Klein. Voice loss, game's gone. True that. Matthias Lauda's gone faster than Jeffrey Van Hooijdonk, albeit by 0.07 of a second. As Vitantonio Liozzi goes out onto the circuit, Enrico Tocciello and Tony Volander both into the top three. As up towards the line for Gian Maria Bruni, he goes to what was third place, is then beaten by Anthony Davidson.
I'm Melon up into P2.
He is indeed up into P2, so it's a good start so far for the Mirage Motorsport boys. As here we see on board with Kataoka in the Team Chimera Autobacks car. Got his best results of GP2 so far with a great second place finish, only behind his teammate Toshihiro Kaneishi, who's currently still in the pit lane. We'll see if they can carry that form on. Currently, despite being in 4th place, they're only 5 points off the championship, Constructors Championship lead. So they'll be hoping to have a good race. If probably both of them are in the top 5, I imagine that they could be good chance of maybe taking the Constructors Championship lead away from Den Blavis, Arden, and the other team is Mirage Motorsport, of course.
Yeah.
It's here on board with, this is Bernhard Auinger in towards Sector 2. Very little amount of braking that is needed to be done before they head into the Stowe corner.
We can already see the fight between one of the favorites that I said, Christian Klein. Jaime Melo is just 0.022 behind the Austrian driver. This is what I've been looking forward to practically since Wednesday. The close fighting between Klein, Melo, and Liuzzi and Kovalainen, surely to bring us a good race today, especially after the mess that was Monaco. They really want to get back into form and keep that championship fight going.
As making his way now through the last corner, here is Bernhard Auinger in the Arden International. He's had solid pace, not been enough to be challenging for race victories, but he's been fairly unlucky with his reliability problems, I think, so far this season. Not a good lap time from him, as he matches his compatriot to the 1,000th of a second, matching Matthias Lauda to go 11th fastest. Let's see if his teammate can fare any better as he now enters Sector 3. If Mirage don't win the World Constructors Championship, I will cut my balls off, says Sergio Aguero. I don't... Does he even know? How old is he at this point, Sergio Aguero? Isn't he like 14 years old or something like that?
From where did you even get that message? It's not on YouTube.
It is. It is. It's on the live chat.
It's not loading for me.
It's on the live chat from Casey.
It's not
As
loading
their
for me.
Liuzzi has gone second place. We missed it. Kovalainen directly behind him. Pole position currently for the Finn after the first set of runs. As James Courtney currently out there on circuit. Your dad called Liuzzi all the time. Is your dad Matt212? Because Matt212 does that all the time as well. So James Courtney, the Australian, he's looking for a good result after a fairly mixed start to his season, it has to be said. Only a handful of points scored for him at the Durango team so far. Why did they change the layout of the bridge corner was iconic. I think it was mainly to get more... I think the new layout brings better racing than the old one. I'd say the old one, this version, is more iconic, but I would say that the new one brings better racing with the heavy braking zones in the loop. Oh, that's nearly contact there between Awinger and Carbone coming out the pits there, as Kaniyoshi now out there on circuit. Is he on a lap? He is on a lap, so watch on board with the Japanese driver.
We already have the first rumours made by the grid about the second seat at Harrison Motorsport for 2005.
Oh,
with,
I don't want to...
Danny commenting on Kovalainen being a candidate for that second seat.
Yeah, I guess. I don't want to... If you weren't there for the F3 Euro Series stream in my Discord, link is in the description of the stream, by the way. So if you want to join the Discord, be sure to... That was a good segue into a plug. Yeah, everyone was driving me absolutely nuts by suggesting not even drivers, just people to drive in the car, such as certain prolific people in the world known for doing bad things, with their first name being Jeffrey. I won't say their last name. That's the state that it got into on Tuesday evening. But alas,
yeah,
we see Jeffrey Van Hooydonk
really
exiting the pit lane.
People really have to chill with the suggestions for that second Harrison seat. Jeffrey didn't die, he's an evil man. He did some really bad things. No, wrong Jeffrey. Wrong Jeffrey. It's the wrong Jeffrey, don't worry.
Bagging 40 a season? What point is bagging 40 points a season? Damn. The best Yannick in F1 since Dalmas. I did say that about Yannick Schroeder, considering he is the first Yannick since Yannick Dalmas in Formula 1.
My face has shrunk like a... No, Yuki Ide for the car. Yuki Ide. No, that's not a driver.
Well, what we do know about them is that they have signed Honda customer engines for 2005. They've also signed... or is he bagging you? Hey yo! Hey yo! What's that supposed to mean?
I knew Jaden was in the island. I just know it.
Right. Enough of that. Let's get on with qualifying, shall we? Here's Matthias Lauda on a lap. No, he's not. He is Johan Koisma on a lap after a great debut race in Monaco, where he finished in 6th place ahead of championship leader Heikki Kovalainen. A calm and cool and collected start to his GP2 career in what was a bonkers race has seen him already triple the points tally that Valerius Gasolati got in his opening 4 rounds of his GP2 season. Yes, it is for a seat for Formula 1, yes. I announced my own team to join F1 for 2005.
Focusing back on GP2, really impressed by Koisma's his debut in Monaco. It was a really calm drive for the Finn, avoiding any mistakes and the chaos that was the race itself to bring home some really good points for the team. Really impressive by Koisma. Really looking forward for what he does.
We'll see what he's capable of doing then as he heads towards the line to complete his first lap. He's the last driver to complete a lap in this qualifying session, and his first lap is good enough to put him in 17th place. A bit more of a humbling qualifying lap there from the Finn. But of course, still getting used to these cars is Johan Koisma. So after everyone has completed their first laps, it is Heikki Kovalainen on pole with Liuzzi, Klein, Mello, Kaniyoshi, Courtney, Tokicello and Davidson in the top 8. A pretty bog standard top 8, I do have to say so, with the top 3 in the championship currently covering the top 3 places on the grid, with 7.5 minutes left on the clock. If you want to join the Discord, there it is. Because Jeffrey did a subtle plug for me there as well. We're on board now with Enrico Torricello, who's on his second lap of the session. What about Proton? I don't know what protons, electrons, neutrons. What about them?
Come on, dude. I'm supposed to make the back jokes. No, don't steal my job, dude. Don't steal it, please. It's the only good thing. Well, good if you want to say. It's the only thing I have going for me, mate.
Here we go then with Enrico Torricello with the bikini bottom looking helmet.
Oh god, it is.
Up towards the line then for the Italian driver, and there is yellow flags down at the first corner, I think. Not entirely sure.
There's someone stuck in the. Oh no, never mind. That was a safety car. Come on.
I don't know why there's. Why is there?
I don't know either. I don't see anyone stuck, at least.
I don't either. Why is there yellow flags? Why does that car look strange? That car looks.
It
What's up
does
with the
look like
nose
he
of that
had an
car?
accident. Look at the front wing. I think it might have been him.
Is it you?
I guess the world will never know.
There's still yellow flags. Hang on. If I do that. There's still yellow flags. Someone else is causing yellow flags. It's not me. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. We'll just carry on our merry way, I guess. No, because it normally doesn't cause a yellow flag, though, is the only thing, Jeffrey. So, yeah. I don't know, particularly. Matthias Lauda, then, is one of currently 3 drivers on the grid, I think, that hasn't scored a point so far this season. Alongside Fabio Carbone and João Paulo de Oliveira. You think it's Kovalainen? Kovalainen's just sat in the pits? I don't know what's happening. Hopefully it doesn't affect the driver's lap
times. I think they might be
times.
talking about Kovalainen to Formula 1 there.
Oh, right, my bad.
With the Harrison team. But let's focus back on the thing we have today, which is this man that man right there.
Jeffrey Van Hooydonk, currently in last place. We're only seeing, to be fair though, 0.7 of a second between first and last on the grid. It's a very small grid spread as we head to 5 minutes to go in the session, up towards the line for the Belgian driver. And it's no improvement for Jeffrey Van Hooydonk. A 32.2 is a 10th slower than what he's been capable of doing previously. Vitantonio Liozzi, a bit too much of the curb there, lifting the inside front as he headed through the Vale chicane.
A little bit of a scare for the Italian driver there, as he takes just a wee bit of air going over that curb, down that turn. Oh, go on, sorry.
I just want do AI hop around in the crashes like this mod? Not as much as other R Factor mods. I did use one before that had the curbs cause significant damage to the cars, but fortunately this time, for this season at least, if you remember 2002 and 03 F3000, those 2 seasons were a little bit strange with the physics of the cars sometime. But yeah, we should be fine. Harrison Motorsport, by the way, do not have the support of Guri Suzuki. They were rumoured to, but Jaden Harrison, which is myself, has gone into ventures on his own in the world of Formula 1. Hosepipe band goes crazy.
Perhaps Harrison Racing should think about a possible partnership with Autobax, considering they are already in GP2 and they are tied to Japan and Japanese motorsport stuff from there, which will go hand in hand with the Honda deal as well. It will be quite the unique sponsorship and partnership in general.
It could be a solid shout, but yeah, I feel like the joke of who's the second seat at Harrison Motorsport, has manifested into something that really should not be a thing.
Yeah, it grew up too quickly. It grew up too quickly.
Here we are then, on board with Vitantonio Liuzzi as he now makes his way through the last corner and see what the Italian can do as he now makes his way up to the line. With 2.5 minutes left on the clock, it's a 131.9, I think that says, so not a good lap at all there from... is Jaden Harrison racing from Angola?
No, it's from St. Kitts and Nevis.
There you go. Heikki Kovalainen on pole position then, ahead of Liuzzi and Klein as multiple drivers out there on their final lap. Kovalainen currently on a push lap. We'll see if he's any wiser to improving on his lap here currently with a 131.44 as he now makes his way into the final sector. I don't think a lot of drivers are actually improving, mainly due to the fact that someone is stuck in the pit lane. Is it Ryan Briscoe?
Oh,
it is Ryan Briscoe. His engine blew up. Okay. We figured out the problem. Blame Ryan Briscoe for no one improving in the last bit of qualifying. Also need to write that down, because that will be a grid penalty, which means that we're going to need to do a short intermission before the start of the race.
Yes, Casey, that's a fire. That is an engine burning. That is very, very toasty.
With 1 minute remaining then, a lot of teams and drivers trying to improve on their lap times. It seems that no one is capable of doing so, as Kovalainen and Liuzzi cross the line with no improvement to their times. Christian Klein out there right now with just 45 seconds left on the clock, so this will be his last race, or not his last race, his last qualifying lap, as he now makes his way into the Stowe corner. He's currently a couple of hundredths ahead of his teammate, and it's looking like a decent qualifying for Mirage Motorsport, as I believe they'll almost certainly be locked in to a second row lockout.
Well, it doesn't really seem like anyone's going to improve. Even if you do improve on the first and second sector, the yellow flag at the start of the first one is going to reduce time severely. I don't really think we'll see any improvements.
I don't know what's better, seeing no one improve on their lap times as the checkered flag now falls, or the fact that Casey's autocorrected Klein into Client. Anyway, Christian Client up towards the line, currently in third place. Will he be able to find any form of an improvement? No, he will not. He'll stay in third position. His teammate Jaime Mello is also on a lap, so we'll see if he's capable of doing so. Yeah, currently the two Turismo Autosport cars are in 14th and 15th as Briscoe unable to get back out there on circuit. He'll fall down to 19th place on the grid as the new regulations in the engine penalty regulations now specify that any engine penalty during qualifying will reduce grid penalties from 10 to 5 places. So, yeah, it'll be Ryan Briscoe down in 19th, which means he'll be ahead of Matthias Lauda and behind Bernhard Auinger, despite the fact that they've both set the exact same lap time as the remainder of the field now cross the line. Obviously, no improvement to be found with the yellow flags down at turn 1, and as such, we are looking pretty stable. Hang on, I've just realised Jaime Mello improved. Never mind, at least someone's found some time.
Hello.
As Kovalainen's gone into the pits. Ryan Briscoe obviously is not going to set a lap time, as that's a Kosuke Matsuri. Kosuke Matsura, sorry, has had some form of incident.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a front wing gone. What happened there? Oh, is that Matthias Lauda?
That is James Courtney off.
Well, that's Courtney. All right.
What has happened to the Durango driver? Oh, he's taken too much curb on the inside of the corner, and it spat him off into the grass, and then is rejoined directly in the path of Kosuke Matsura at the end of qualifying. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah, Kay is not too happy on the chat. She is suffering. Yeah, that, yeah, I don't... Ow.
So that is qualifying done then with Kovalainen on pole position by 66 milliseconds ahead of Vitantonio Liuzzi. Jaime Mello and Christian Clear make it a Mirage Motorsports second row lockout with the Monaco race winner of Toshihiro Kaneishi in 5th. James Courtney, Enrico Toccacello and Tony Vallanda complete the top 8. Anthony Davidson and Gian-Maria Bruni complete the top half of the standings, with Yannick Schroeder in the Supernova getting the better of his new teammates Johan Koisma by 6 places. In between them was Joao Paulo de Oliveira, Tatsuya Kataoka, Ryan Briscoe, Kosuke Matsura and Fabio Carbone. Jeffrey Van Hooydonk, Bernhard Auinger and Matthias Lauda brings us to a close on the grid. Join us in a few moments. We'll be back for 30 laps of racing action. The music, the name of the music is wrong, by the way, in the next screen. Okay, goodbye. We are back, and we are ready to have 30 laps of racing action ahead of us here at Silverstone. As we now await the lights, we're going to jump straight into this one. The lights are green, there's racing to be seen. It seems like a fairly tentative start from Heikki Kovalainen, as he's going to be challenged by Vitantonio Liuzzi into towards turn 1. There's contact between the two leading pair in the championship, as Heikki Kovalainen seems to have gotten away with it. He leads Vitantonio Liuzzi down towards Maggots and Beckett's. Meanwhile, Jaime Mello stayed ahead of his teammate as Tony Verlander there has overtaken James Courtney into 6th place, that is, for the second Demblo Arvis driver, and now down towards the end of the first sector. It seems that Jaime Mello's got a fantastic run here on Vitantonio Liuzzi, maybe towards the inside of the Stowe corner. Liuzzi's going to hold it around the outside and nearly get collected there, Jaime Mello, by his teammate. Very close quarters between the two Mirage Motorsport cars as they head through the Vale chicane for the very first time. Nearly spinning round. That's Kaneishi. And, oh, that's Verlander. He's been caught up in an accident. And that's Enrico Toccacello as well that's also been involved in that. And I think we might have a safety car. And Ryan Briscoe's also been involved. And I think the safety car's going to come out for that one. And a big crash involving several drivers there. We'll get a replay of it in a second, but that was absolutely madness. But Kovalainen still leading at the front.
And that is some major chaos at the start of a race, and all of that synced too, that Courtney and one of the Turismo cars had a little hit on it. Everyone, meanwhile, screaming that you're streaking, but here... I
know, I knew.
Can you update on everyone?
Oh, it was...
Okay.
Oh, it was Ryan Briscoe, unsighted. Thought that Enrico Toccacello was going to end up going onto the track, and in fact stayed where he was, so Ryan Briscoe caught out by that. The Australian is going to be now down the order, as that is... Kataoka has also lost his front wing. We didn't actually see that in the incident itself. That was something else. It must have been. Down towards the Abbey chicane, side by side with one of the Colonis, that is. It makes contact with Fabio Carbone, side by side through the bridge corner. Oh, and that's contact there between Matsura and Jeffrey Van Hooydonk, I think. And Kataoka caught off guard by that. And he's also going to need a new front wing. So we've had, what, 6 or 8 cars involved in that incident, and there has been a full course yellow called. So safety car is now out on circuit and will be pacing round the traffic as Yannick Schroeder into the box as well to get a new front wing. Kataoka in. Verlander is going to stay out, it seems, as Briscoe and Toccacello also into the box.
Well, that's a way of starting a Grand Prix for sure. I mean, I'm a bit disappointed about the accident itself. I really expected some more crap.
I'm going to look at this one again because I didn't really get such a good camera angle.
He's just screaming bloody murder in chat. She's not happy. She's borderline depressed.
Oh, to be fair though, I feel like Jeffrey Van Hooydonk caused his own incident there, spinning on the back of Kosuke Matsura. I think that's Jeffrey Van Hooydonk's fault, if anything. And he's, well, paid the price for that one, really. So 4 drivers into the pits, and the remaining 16 out there behind the safety car. Leader still, pole sitter, Heikki Kovalainen. The top 6, as they were at the start. As I think Tony Verlander also lost a lot of places from that incident at the start.
Not really much of a change up ahead on the positions of the lead. You have Kovalainen, Liuzzi, Mello, and Clean still there, and I'm really interested in seeing how Mello and Clean fight this out. They do have to make a clean race if they don't want to lose some more points. A collision between teammates will be disastrous for the team. I just realized an unintended pun I just said. A clean race. For fuck's sake. I didn't even want to.
That is pure comedy right there. You could say that is comedy pure.
Nah, that ain't me.
Anyway, we're behind the safety car now, rolling at a very slow pace.
I could go quicker than the safety car, come on.
I think they're all just waiting for Enrico Toccicello to catch up.
I mean, it doesn't really make too much sense. He's been lapped, isn't he?
Toccicello? No, he's not lapped. It's only lap 2. So we speed this up a little bit. Oh, everyone's into the pits? Yes?
Oh.
Okay. Absolutely everyone is into the pits. Apart from those that...
Wait, not everyone, not everyone.
So the people that pit for damage at the start have stayed out. It's going to be yellow flags. Green flags at the end of this lap. So those that actually took damage at the start are all... Everyone's in. Everyone's in for a pit stop. Maybe they think that they can go to the end as there's contacts happening there.
That was Hoydonk. What is going on?
And it seems that... Who's coming out in front? It's Vitantonio Liuzzi, who's jumped ahead of the competition. James Courtney's come out in second. Klein third. Carboni fourth. Van Hooydonk fifth. Lauda sixth. Kanishi seventh. Mello 8th. Bruni 9th. Kovalainen is in 10th of those that have just pit right there. So he's lost 9 places. He's been jumped by 9 drivers. Bernhard Auinger in 11th. Verlander 12th. So it's a terrible start to the race. As that's a rear wing loss for Matsura. Oh, and both Richard Payeur Excellence cars are in trouble.
Already.
What on earth has just happened there?
Whoa.
What the...
That is Kovalainen.
That is Kovalainen. Could you argue that he's just been pushed there by Gianmaria Bruni as well? I'm not entirely sure. There's now...
I just penalised both.
As the two Richard Payeur Excellence drivers crash together as well as Kosuke Matsura also being involved. What on earth?
What am I looking at? This is why I volunteer for GP2 commenting. This is pure cinema.
So,
my God,
amazing stuff.
What is Davidson doing?
Anyway, at the front, the only driver who has not pit is Johan Koisma. He now leads the race ahead of Yannick Schroeder, so it is now a Supernova Racing 1-2, Kataoka 3rd, Briscoe 4th, Toccicello 5th, Liuzzi, Courtney and Klein now complete the points. And Davidson's going to grab a 10-second time penalty for that one, for that incident in the pits. If he can get back out on circuit, he has got back out there on circuit without a front wing. So his race is pretty much ruined, his teammates' race is pretty much ruined, and Matsura's race is pretty much ruined, as they now all need to box before, or rather, when the safety car comes in. So, this could be interesting.
At this point, just send Davidson to the electric chair at that point.
I'm not entirely sure what the constructor standings would look like at this point. I think Arden would be leading at this current stage, as we are going racing at the end of lap 3. We've only had 3 laps of racing, and there's been more incidents under the safety car than what fetched it out in the first place. So I guess let's see what happens then. Johan Koisma is going to lead us away to begin lap 4 here in the GP2 round at Silverstone. Out the final corner then. And when will the young Finn go? He's gone now.
Green, 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 green.
Has he? Has he gone? Oh, there's contact there further back as well. A few front wings have gone flying. Not exactly sure who that is. Is it Christian Klein involved?
I think that's Liuzzi.
That's Liuzzi! Liuzzi without a front wing. He's very clearly been caught out in that incident. So now Kuzma leads us away. He wasn't gone yet, and Liuzzi has jumped the gun. So now Kuzma leads ahead of Yannick Schroeder. Ryan Briscoe looking very quickly to try and dismantle a potential Supernova 1-2 here, as now he's on the back of the Frenchman, down the Hanger Straights, maybe towards the Stowe corner. He could possibly try and make a move up the inside of Yannick Schroeder. He's gaining all the time. Then again, his teammate Johan Kuzma is tagging him along as well. So the top three remain as they are. Meanwhile, further back, Vitantonio Liuzzi falling down place after place. As I'm pretty sure someone else picked up damage there further back. Kosuke Matsura stayed out there, so he's going to be into the box at the end of this lap. I don't think the AI can box when the safety car goes into the pits. So those three are all seemingly going to be pitting at the end of this lap rather than the previous one. And now Ryan Briscoe harassing the back of Yannick Schroeder. Maybe Schroeder is trying to back off the rest of the field so Kuzma can get a gap enough to come out in a reasonable position when he pits.
With permission of the council, Ayo? Doing what? To Schroeder? Doing what?
You make my pissed. Anyway, out the last corner, and Ryan Briscoe seemingly falling back a bit of time because clearly Jose's made him very self-aware of his attacking manoeuvres, as is now falling under pressure from Enrico Toccacello. For what is the final podium place, and the Coloni driver looking very feisty to get this one, get this position. And the crowd is going to take third place away from Ryan Briscoe. James Courtney is also looking at the back of his countryman as they're up the inside. That's Kataoka making a move on Christian Klein, nearly spinning on the inside curb there. Really don't want to be doing that one, but he's still managing to hold it round the outside. Can he be able to make this move, or will he be able to be pushed out by Christian Klein?
The stream is lagging, and I think it might have crashed. Oh, there you go.
Hello.
No, it's good, it's good, it's good.
I think we're back.
It's lagging a little bit here. Maybe my phone is a little bit back.
No, it was my end,
There was a big, there was a big jump there.
Yeah, we're back. As now Christian Klein is now under pressure from the other Chimera Autobacks car of Kanaishi. Just been overtaken by Kataoka that you would have missed, as Kovalainen's made up a couple places. Yellow flags in the final sector. I don't know who that's for. I think Auinger's off the track, and Auinger's spun round. He's lost his front wing as well, so now he's well down the order, and that frustration from the Austrian very clearly shown in his driving style on the rejoin there. We'll get a replay of what's just happened to Bernhard Auinger in the Arden International car.
I think I might have been... No, never mind. Does seem to try and make a move down the inside of...
oh, he's just collected
Melo.
there. Oh, over the curbs as well. It launched his car up in the air. He was collected by Jaime Melo after he made contact with, I believe that was Tony Verlander in the Demblo Arbis. So the two of those coming together means that Bernhard Auinger has seemingly paid the price. So it's a terrible start to this race for Arden, who currently find their drivers in 16th and 17th respectively. Now Yannick Schroeder all over the back of his teammate Johan Kuzma. Can he take the lead away from his young Finnish teammate? This would be a change of the guard if Johan Kuzma can hold on, but it doesn't seem so. Schroeder nearly losing the back of the car, and Kuzma nearly benefiting from it, re-overtaking him. Not quite though, as they head into the Vale chicane, and Yannick Schroeder now leads ahead of Kuzma, as Ryan Briscoe has re-overtaken Enrico Toccacello for third position. So Auinger now into the pits and rejoining in 18th.
Overtaking on this track, I've seen that it has quite a lot of risk. We already had one tiny little scare with I can't remember who it was, there was contact there. Just Schroeder almost losing the car on that same turn. We might see an accident between teammates soon if Kuzma can catch up to Schroeder again. If everything goes south.
There, Klein almost making a move on, that was Toshihiro Kanaishi there for 8th position. So that's the final points place. And Klein going swooping around the outside through the last corner. Brilliant move there from the Austrian as he now moves up into 8th position. Next targets on the agenda: James Courtney in the Durango, Fabio Carboni in the Coloni, Ryan Briscoe in the Turismo auto sport car. Finally get my words underway. From the inside goes James Courtney, switchbacked by Fabio Carboni. Brilliant racing between the Brazilian and the Australian as they head towards Maggots and Beckett's for the 7th time. As they're up the inside as well, Kaneishi, brilliant racing between all these drivers. As there as well, Jeffrey Van Hooydonk looking to get past Christian Klein. He's not wanting to lose another place to the Austrian, and he's going to hold that place. And now Christian Klein, what he did get past Kaneishi, but he's going to need to do it all over again, even with that brilliant move that he tried to make at Luffield. Up the inside for Kaneishi, another place gained. And he's going to be crashed into the back of by James Courtney. He lost the rear end going through Stowe Corner, and he's going to need a pit stop, and that's going to be a rear wing loss now for the Chimera Autobacks team. A massive shame for him, as it looks like he's not going to be able to repeat his heroic victory in Monaco. Kovalainen, though, benefiting. Championship leader now up into 9th position.
They are clamors for for the execution of that car from Chimera HQ. What happened there? That is a disaster for Kaneishi. That is a huge disaster for the team in general.
Further at the front, though, Koisma has retaken the lead ahead of Schroeder. He now leads by a whole second ahead of his teammate Toccocello, bridging the gap, though. He's just 2 seconds behind second place man Yannick Schroeder, as now he is closing that gap, I think fairly quickly as well, as he's now dropped his teammate. So it's currently a Supernova 1-2 and a Coloni 3-4. Ryan Briscoe, though, in 5th place, looking to chase down the Brazilian for that 4th position. Who would have thought, though, after that first lap crash between all those drivers, that they would benefit after all of the drivers pit on the end of the next lap for a scheduled stop? I'm supposing that the drivers that did pit under the safety car will be going until the end of this race unless they pick up damage. And now Kaneishi and Courtney both outside the top 15. Toccocello now on the back of Yannick Schroeder, just a couple of tenths behind.
That was certainly something to see. That was certainly something to see. This race is... And the thing is, it's not even halfway through.
It's not even a third of the way through. As Toccocello really getting close now to Yannick Schroeder, looking for any way through, and nearly losing the back of the car there through the Abbey chicane. Now towards Bridge Corner. Can he find any way through into the final sector? I don't think he's going to be able to. He's not close enough to make that sort of move, is Enrico Toccocello.
Let's see if Coloni can get another position of attacking Schroeder here. He doesn't look like he's going to go for a move. One of the final turns of the track, but he's still really close, still on the slipstream of the Supernova car. Let's see if the Coloni can make a move. Really close, is closing in. Just as Koisma started to build up the gap, 2 seconds to his teammate.
Will Toccocello be able to make a move out of Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel, maybe in towards the Stowe Corner? We've seen a lot of overtakes happen there, but a lot of risk, as the drivers have quickly found that they've been sending it a bit too hard for the rear downforce to catch up with the front of the car. And now Enrico Toccocello in the slipstream of Yannick Schroeder. Can he get through for second position? Johan Koisma pulling away at the front, but can Coloni stop the Supernova 1-2? They can, and now the red team now march on towards a potential victory here today, as Johan Koisma hasn't even pit yet, so this is for the provisional race lead.
That was a brilliant move by Toccocello there. He knew the risk and he's still going to brought it home. Really nice. But Koisma still has to pit indeed, and that is Carbone and Briscoe.
Yeah, as one Coloni improved on his position, another one's now under threat from losing one, as now Ryan Briscoe looking to bounce back in trying to get past the Brazilian of Fabio Carboni. Is just a couple of tenths between the two. You can see the gap is basically nothing between Carboni and Briscoe as they head in towards the final sector here on lap 9. At the front, though, Toccocello's made use of his good pace and is now on the back of Johan Koisma, just 3 tenths separating the front pair, as now they close up lap 9.
There's still some stream issues, by the way. At least FF says that, and it is true that it reset on my phone, so it's nothing to worry about. Stream's still going, still good, but just maybe some cuts and throughs.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any problem on my end. It doesn't say. This time round. as Enrico Torricello looking now to try and make his way through on Johan Koisma. Half a second back. Will he be able to pick up enough of a slipstream deficit here to try and make his way up into the lead of the race?
Bruni's dropping positions rather quickly.
Is he?
Yep.
Where is he? He is...
He has dropped a lot, maybe had a spin or something.
Let's get a look then. So down at turn 1. No, doesn't seem so. He's challenging there at Demblo Arvis into Maggots. That's Heikki Kovalainen. Oh, and he's hit the back of the fin. And that's the championship leader off. I think he's managed to carry on. He has indeed managed to carry on. But that's a mistake there from Gian-Maria Bruni. Way too fast into the S section there. And as such, has caused Kovalainen to lose a bit of time. He's able to carry on though. And more damage done to Gian-Maria Bruni's ego more than anything else. Koisma though still leading at the front.
When I saw Bruni in this position, I thought we had an engine failure or something, but no, it was just a mistake. Really interesting to see that there have been no engine failures 10 races into the Grand Prix, when we usually have quite a lot of engine failures at this point. Maybe at least one gearbox or a suspension.
I wouldn't curse it if I were you.
Mate, I want to curse it. Canisius in P20. And Kataoka's going to lose position rather soon, so yeah, I do want to jinx it.
Meanwhile, for Ryan Briscoe, that's round the outside of Yannick Schroeder. Fabio Carbone's fallen back. We missed that. He's down in 6th place, as now the Australian of Ryan Briscoe. Sorry, I'm missing my names completely here. Ryan Briscoe up into 3rd position. He's now on the back of Enrico Torricello, who's now 3 seconds off the back of Johan Koisma. The Finn still pulling away at the front. We'll see if Ryan Briscoe can make his way through into 2nd place. It seems that Enrico Torricello has backed off the pace a little bit, as now they head towards the Hangar Straight on lap 11.
Briscoe looking to make a move into Torricello.
Oh, but here's Schroeder. It seems that as Ryan Briscoe slowing down the main straight, it seems so.
I think so. Gearbox failure probably.
No, his car seems perfectly fine.
Okay, what happened there?
I don't know what happened there with Ryan Briscoe, but he's losing places now. He's lost a place to Schroeder, he's lost a place to Clean, he's nearly lost one to Fabio Carboni as well, as they head through Club Corner now. Very strange indeed from the Australian. Maybe thought he was going to get boxed in by Torricello and backed out of it, but as such, his lack of aggression has certainly cost him there. He's nearly spinning the car through the Abbey chicane. This is getting chaotic now for Ryan Briscoe. He needs to just calm down and re-establish himself in this battle.
Yeah, that was a power loss to forget for Turismo.
And he's looking to fight straight. He's looking to fight straight back here as Ryan Briscoe and Christian Klein do combat through the last sector. Fabio Carboni round the outside of Kataoka. I don't think Kataoka will let that one happen. He'll hold on to that 6th place for now, as now Ryan Briscoe on the back of Christian Klein for that 4th place. This has really been a topsy-turvy kind of race with those drivers that aren't normally at the front. In terms of Yannick Schroeder and Johan Koisma certainly putting up a fight to the established order.
This race has spiced up everything completely. Another Monaco, but without a good ending. Well, probably good for Koisma, who is still leading, still with a big gap, without pitting.
Heikki Kovalainen there, overtaking Matthias Lauda, and now the championship leader is into the points.
Kovalainen making his charge back up the field. Now eyeing up Coloni's Fabio Carbone, who is fighting Kataoka and Briscoe, with Kataoka taking the upper hand, trying to make a move down Briscoe there. And he does. Kataoka is still on P5, now chasing down Christian Klein.
Ryan Briscoe's also lost another couple of places. I think he made a mistake at the exit of that chicane. Has now just been overtaken by Carboni and Lauda, who's also managed to get past Kovalainen in that. Kovalainen pushed out the way by Jaime Mello now in the battle for 9th place. This isn't even for a points-paying position, but either way, these two championship rivals in a sense, as now Jaime Melo makes his way up into 9th position. We'll see what's happening further up the field. That's Enrico Toccacello making his way up the inside of Johan Koisma. Yannick Schroeder follows him through. Christian Klein follows him through. Koisma's lost 3 places in a single corner. What is happening now to the young Finn? Not entirely sure, but he's losing place after place after place, and now Toccacello leads.
Incredible for Coloni. Back on the... Well, not back, actually. Into the leading positions now with the fantastic race of Toccacello so far. But really worried about Koisma. There's some movement back there. That's just overtaken.
There's now Johan Koisma under pressure from Tatsuya Kataoka. He's falling back place after place, and the Finn looks like he's going to lose another place here. Up the inside for the Japanese driver, and he's up into 4th position.
What's happening?
Not entirely sure what's happening to Johan Koisma, but maybe the inexperience is now getting the better of him, as he's now down in 5th place. Next cars behind, Fabio Carboni and Matthias Lauda. Ryan Briscoe in 8th, with Melo and Kovalainen completing the top 10.
Could be Koisma's tyres already starting to give up.
It could be that, yes, it could indeed be that. Of course, he's not pitting this race yet, and everyone else has, so they, albeit not much fresher tyres, probably about 2 to 3 laps fresher than the rest of the field. And that's Vitantonio Liozzi without a front wing. Good spot there, Keo, as he has lost his front wing somewhere in the 1st sector. Let's see what's happened then with Vitantonio Liozzi, who's on the back of a Demblo Arvis. Actually, that's a Gillian Motorsport car that he's crashed with there. I think that's Gian-Maria Bruni, I think. Actually, it is Gian-Maria Bruni that he's crashed with. And unfortunately for Liozzi, it's been a race to forget once again here at Silverstone, just like how it was in Monaco, retiring with just 3 laps to go from a 2nd place finish. He's also unlikely now to score points, as we now are starting lap 14. So we've just got 17 laps to go in this one.
Really not a weekend to remember for Italian drivers here.
There's Johan Koisma there.
It is a weekend to remember for this man right here.
Koisma now getting his elbows out versus Kataoka and regaining the place. He's up into 4th position now as Toccacello starts to run away at the front. Schroeder now under pressure from both his teammate and Christian Klein for that 2nd position. We'll see if the Austrian could do anything about it, or if Johan Koisma will try and get the pair of them. Klein up the inside into the Stowe corner. Easy move there for the Austrian, and now he's up into 2nd position. He's really wanting to reassert himself into this championship fight, and as it currently stands, I think would be leading the championship out of this round by a single point. Schroeder now struggling for pace massively, is dropped back by about 2 seconds already to Christian Klein, as Johan Koisma now once again in the battle for the final podium place. We'll see if he's got any chance of trying to make up that place up the inside for the young Finn. Will he be able to hold on to it? He will just about, and now moves back up into 3rd position.
Incredible pace here by the young Finn. All tyres had a power loss right in the middle of the straight, and it's now making back positions. Impressive by Koisma here.
As there goes Kovalainen looking toward the outside of Matthias Lauda, once again re-overtaking the Austrian. An easy move there, it looked like, for the Finn, as he's now on the back of Kataoka for 7th. He's back into the points once again, as Jaime Melo now looks to try and get past not only Fabio Carboni, but also Yannick Schroeder. Up the inside into the Copse corner. Don't think so for the Brazilian. As there, I think a bit of an incident between some of the drivers. That's Ryan Briscoe, now down in 10th place under pressure from not only Jeffrey van Hooijdonk, but also Tony Verlander.
Well, we'll focus at the moment with Kovalainen and Kataoka here. The Finnish driver trying to make a move down. Trying to make a move on the Chimera driver, but wait, there he goes.
And nearly losing the rear of the car. Gets switched back by Kataoka and in towards the Vale chicane is going to be able to not make an overtake there, as Ryan Briscoe looked to try and get past Matthias Lauda, but no fruit bearing there for the Australian to get past the Austrian. But Kovalainen maybe start to become impatient when trying to get this move done. Looking towards the outside through the Abbey chicane, switches to the inside. Maybe he's going to go towards the inside of the bridge corner. That would be bravery personified if he does. Not quite there for Heikki Kovalainen. He's going to stick behind once again and stay in 8th position. Johan Koisma, though, still pulling out a gap to Yannick Schroeder and is in fact closing on Christian Klein.
What a race they're having at the moment. Some really good fighting, especially from these two right here, Klein and Koisma. With no, not Klein, Koisma. Fucking hell. This is not Schroeder. This is
Koisma battling with Christian Klein for second position, as Enrico Tocacello is still pulling away. And Koisma really starting to put the pressure on Christian Klein. It seems that he's losing a bit of time, the Austrian, as now they head onto the Hangar Straight. We've seen a lot of slipstream overtakes down this straight. It seems like the easiest place to get a move done, even with the issues that drivers are struggling with on the brakes. Up the inside, though, for Johan Koisma. Seems fairly like a simple relative move there for him. Christian Klein, though, looking to fight back. Maybe towards the outside. Not quite. Koisma holds that one off for now and sticks in second place. Ooh, nearly left a gap there as well to the inside of the club corner, as there Yannick Schroeder and Fabio Carboni continuing to battle for P4 side by side as they now head into the Abbey chicane. Will Carboni be able to look towards the inside of Yannick Schroeder? He does. He regains 4th position in this race.
Well, I'm still a bit amazed about Koisma. It's no pit stops. This man really likes the tires, huh?
Hopefully he pits before the end of this race. Maybe if there's some problems with his radio, not actually telling him to pull into the box, maybe that could result in him not making actually a pit stop before the end of this race. Hopefully he does, though, as everyone else has made their pit stop. Liuzzi in particular has made 3 pit stops, although a lot of those have been down to damage more than anything else. Johan Koisma, though, still holding out strong in 2nd position. Christian Klein in 3rd, now under pressure from Fabio Carboni. I don't know, by the way, if there's any flickering of the audio. I don't know why, but I can also hear some flickering of the audio in my headphones. If there's also flickering, please do let me know. I don't know how I would solve it immediately, but yeah, it's whenever I switch cameras, it seems. It's quite strange.
At the moment, it seems fine on my end, but yeah, that's all I can tell you. I don't know about the rest.
Seems that it's all calming down now in the top 4, as now Yannick Schroeder is now under pressure from Jaime Mello. This is the battle for P5. Mello nearly losing the rear of the car through the Vale chicane, as Matthias Lauda has somehow managed to get himself back into the points, and somehow Kovalainen has managed to fall out of the points once again. So it's seeming like a massive dogfight now for Heikki Kovalainen to once again return. Yeah, return. There we go. Return to the not consciously notice any flickering. No worries. If it's just me, then it should be fine then. As now there is Kovalainen nearly making a mistake, making contact with his teammate Tony Verlander, and the two now go side by side as they head through Brooklands and Luffield. Side by side between Kovalainen and Verlander. Verlander's going to soar around the outside, though, of his championship contending teammate and take his 10th place away from him. So now Kovalainen down to 11th and under pressure from Jeffrey Van Hooydonk and Anthony Davidson. Bear in mind, though, that Davidson does have a 10-second time penalty, so be sure to look out for where he could possibly rejoin in terms of a table position. I think it would be 15th place behind Bernhard Aunger, but ahead of his teammate Joao Paulo de Oliveira. At the front, though, Fabio Carboni closing it in on Johan Koisma for that 3rd place. So that's the final podium place, and Carboni consistently putting Koisma under pressure now, as Jaime Mello seems to have lost touch with the Brazilian.
It will be a fantastic weekend for Colonia, a team that up to last race had no points on the table. And now they're going from that to a possible 1-3.
They scored points in Spain, by the way.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that one. And it's the first one I commented here as well. God damn it.
Yeah, so Enrico Toccacello then leading the way by now 1.5 seconds. The gap is decreasing to Christian Klein to just over 1 second. Now to exactly a second, now to less than a second. Christian Klein really now putting the hammer down in trying to get the race lead in this one as they now come across the line to complete lap 18. 12 laps to go in this one. We're well over half race distance and Christian Klein is looking solid to try and take victory away from Enrico Toccacello, at least for the time being, especially with now Johan Koisma and Fabio Carbone and Jaime Melo now battling for that final podium place. We'll keep an eye on, though, Christian Klein versus Enrico Toccacello, the two now exiting Chapel. Will Klein be able to get back into the race lead, or rather take the race lead for the first time today, or will Toccacello be able to hold on towards the braking zone? Klein up the inside, Klein taking the race lead, Klein holding on to position, and now he's going to try and pull away from the Italian Fabio Carbone up the inside of Johan Koisma. So right as when Coloni lost a position, they've regained one with their other driver. So it's looking like a solid race here for Coloni as Jeffrey Van Hooijdonk is falling down places. He's off at the side of the road. Is it? I'm not entirely sure. I don't see any smoke at the back of that car. Either way, Jeffrey Van Hooijdonk, the first retirement on lap 19. It's taken us long enough to finally get to this point, but we'll see what happened then with the Belgian driver.
I mean, we've had a lot of power losses there, and perhaps it's engine or something related to that. It might as well be suspension or brakes.
Oh, it looks like brake failure, I would suggest.
Looks like brakes, yeah.
For Jeffrey Van Hooijdonk. Pulls it off to the side of the road, and Jeffrey Van Hooijdonk retires for Gelé Motorsport. Big shame for him. But either way, for Christian Klein, he is now extending his gap at the front of the field. Christian Klein leading by just under 2 seconds now as the gap continues to increase. 1.7 to be precise. Carbone in third with Koisma in fourth. Jaime Melo now under pressure from Yannick Schroeder for fifth position. Yannick Schroeder seemingly fallen back a little bit as this race has gone on, as Ryan Briscoe's back in the points ahead of Kataoka, Valander, Kovalainen complete in the top 10, Matthias Lauda with a good chance of potentially scoring points for the Durango Corsa team. He's ahead of the two stopping Davidson. Auinger's down in 13th with Courtney Joao Paulo de Oliveira. Matsura Kaneishi Liuzzi down in 18th place with 3 stops so far in this race, and Gianmaria Bruni in 19th and last. His teammate, the only driver out of this race. Klein, though, now starting to be caught once again by Enrico Toccacello. The gap is now decreasing, and the momentum is now shifting as Koisma, like you said, has just overtaken Carbone. We're going to keep on board, though, with Enrico Toccacello as he looks to try and find a way through on Christian Klein.
Meanwhile, at the back we can see also Briscoe is in position to Kataoka. And that's really about it. Well, Schroeder will be taking Jaime Melo, defending from Melo, who has to pit.
Could be a scheduled stop. Could only take maybe this fuel so long in this race. Koisma hasn't stopped, though, in this race. Unless it is a problem. It is a problem for Jaime Melo. A gearbox failure with just 10 laps to go.
Oh, no.
And a massive shame for him means he's going to retire again from a points-paying position.
Well, it's clear which driver Mirage likes the best. I mean, just look at poor Melo there.
And now he's going to be the second retirement in this race. Meanwhile, for Christian Klein, is massively under pressure from Enrico Toccacello. Will he be able to hold on? He will just about. But now Johan Koisma re-entering the fight for the race lead. Will he be able to try and find a way through to potentially take second place or maybe even the race lead? Only time will tell, as now Enrico Toccacello with once again a run on Christian Klein. This is exactly how it played the other way around, with Klein attacking Toccacello just last lap, and now potentially towards the inside for Toccacello. He's not going to go for that move. He's going to think better of it. He's going to keep his tyres in better to Nick. Let Christian Klein push through the air in front of him and use his tyres up to stay in front. But that's a bit of a mistake there from Toccocello in turn. Kuizma now on the back of the leading pair. Just 0.8 of a second separating the top three. But of course, Johan Kuizma still needing to pit. It's been 21 laps and he's still not been into the box.
Well, that was quite a change of events there with Melo's gearbox failure. But that opens up a little bit for Kataoka, Kovalainen and Briscoe.
Yeah, Kovalainen has made up a couple places. He's got past his teammate Tony Verlander and has also overtaken Ryan Briscoe and is now up into 7th place, courtesy of also the Jaime Melo gearbox failure. So now he's on course to potentially score points, although he is holding up a numerous amount of drivers. It seems that he possibly could be potentially holding damage after making contact in the pit lane at the start of the race, as he was one of those drivers that was pushed, I believe, by Bernhard Auinger into one of the parked cars. It was quite a busy pit lane, so I'm not sure if the FIA will do anything about many of the incidents. Of course, Davidson has been noted for causing a collision with Joao Paulo de Oliveira and Kosuke Matsura in that incident. We'll see, though, if Kovalainen can find his way maybe towards the top 5. It could be close for him to try and make that place up. But of course, Ryan Briscoe, ever the threat to the Finn, maybe looking towards the inside of the Stowe corner. No, but Kataoka finds the inside of Yannick Schroeder, or does he? He nearly slips straight into the side of Yannick Schroeder and then keeps behind the Frenchman. As we've missed it, Toccocello's fallen down to 3rd place now. So he is now behind Johan Kuizma and is 3 seconds off the race lead. Klein now leads ahead of Kuizma, Toccocello, Carbone. So it's a current Coloni 3-4 with Schroeder in 5th, Kataoka 6th, Kovalainen championship leader in 7th place and Ryan Briscoe in 8th.
Still not over though, as Auinger's looking to make up a place into the points, chasing down Briscoe, who's getting held up by Kataoka with that little train there.
And then round the outside.
Down the outside of Schroeder to take P5 on the race.
A great move there, as now Bernhard Auinger and Heikki Kovalainen do battle once again. It's not the first time that we've seen these guys make contact this race. If they do once again, and towards the inside for Kovalainen. On the outside is Bernhard Auinger, side by side through Copse. There is contact again between the two, and Kovalainen's just about going to stay ahead of the Austrian as now they head towards Maggots and Beckett's. Maybe if Kovalainen could get into the slipstream now of Yannick Schroeder, he could potentially hold on to that place, as that was a big slide there from Ryan Briscoe. Yeah, he's lost a lot of places there. I think that was a big mistake there from Ryan Briscoe. He's lucky to keep that pointing in the correct direction, but now he's fallen down to 13th place, as now Kovalainen picking up slipstream and keeping himself ahead, most certainly, of Bernhard Auinger, as now he heads in towards Stowe on lap 23. At the end of this one, it's just 7 laps remaining, and Johan Kuizma still hasn't pit in this race. Enrico Toccocello all over the back of the Finn now, up the inside into the Abbey chicane. Maybe this is the point where the tyres really have gone off for the Finn. He's not scheduled to box at the end of this lap either. I'm wondering what on earth is happening down at Supernova for Johan Kuizma to stay out this long, but either way, he's now in 3rd place behind Enrico Toccocello. Is now being caught by Fabio Carbone. Yannick Schroeder now under pressure from Heikki Kovalainen as they now head into the final chicane, not the chicane, final sector. And this could end up being a battle. Go on, sorry.
Go on, sorry. Go on.
This could end up being a battle potentially for P5, maybe even P4, as now Kataoka's backed off, because obviously Kuizma needs to box. This could be a position higher than what a lot of them have expected, especially with now Kuizma down to 4th place and losing time now. So Kataoka, Schroeder, Kovalainen, Auinger, Courtney all battling as a couple drivers into the box. That's Davidson and Lauda both have crashed together, I think.
I did see Lauda losing positions, but I don't know what happened there.
We're gonna.
You can already make it out, but Jesus, that was a big hit. Yeah, and it was indeed. He makes them.
And it's the mistake from Matthias Lauda, sending it in too hard through the Stowe corner. eventually causing Davidson's demise there, and another front wing lost for Richard Payor Excellence. Is looking like another sour day for those guys, as their best chance of points now comes in the form of Joao Paulo de Oliveira. Hasn't scored points so far this season and currently finds himself in 12th place. So Christian Klein now leads by 3.5 seconds ahead of Enrico Torricello. It's currently a Coloni 2-3 with Kuisma in 4th. Kovalainen has now gotten past Kataoka and Schroeder to get into 5th place. So this is great for his championship outlook here.
In the meantime, Kuisma with no plans of pitting.
He hasn't, no. I don't know what on earth is happening down at Supernova. It almost certainly has to be some sort of technical issue with the communication between team and car. And as such, this could be a fairly sour note for Supernova.
Even if he gets disqualified, I just say that Kuisma has had an impressive race. Not pitting, Will's done really good race for him.
Even still, if he does not pit, then he would be disqualified from the race, unfortunately, for the Finn. And it will put this man right here on our screens, Heikki Kovalainen. It would put him now up into 4th position, which would mean that he'd only lose 5 points to Christian Klein. And it could become 3, especially if Enrico Torricello can reclaim the race lead and potentially take the race lead with 5 laps remaining.
Torricello smelling blood in the water, closing into the Austrian driver in the Mirage. It could be a Coloni 1-3 if Torricello plays his cards right. We've seen a lot of mistakes this race. The most recent one with Davidson and Lauda. So I wouldn't discard another mistake, and this time coming from the big man himself, Christian Klein.
We'll see if Klein can hold on to this race victory, or will it be the way of Coloni getting their first victory in the GP2 series? With just 5 laps to go, it's anyone's guess. Could it be even Fabio Carbone? He hasn't even scored a point so far this season. Took pole position in Monaco, led the race for 3 laps, then blew up. He's had a pretty awful time of it. That's pretty much been the definition of his opening season in the second tier of open wheel motorsports. But now he's definitely looking on course for a potential first points, first podium, or maybe even a first race win if these two maybe collide with one another. Enrico Torricello really getting aggressive now and close to Christian Klein. 5 laps to go then here at Silverstone, as Klein there making a mistake through Beckett, and that's going to put Enrico Torricello on the front foot in the slipstream now down the hanger straight. This could be an easy picking here for Enrico Torricello to take a first race victory of the season and a first race victory in GP2 up the inside for the Italian, and it's an easy move in the end for Enrico Torricello. He's taken the race lead ahead of Christian Klein as Yannick Schroeder's into the box.
Schroeder into the pits.
Yeah, I think damage potentially for that car, and Bernhard Auinger's also lost his rear wing.
I think we can see what happened now.
We'll maybe check what happened. I don't think we're going to get a replay that's...
Looks to me like Schroeder might have hit Auinger. Oh no, it's Kovalainen. Oh no, wait, no, the damage is still there. It was just a visual bug. Yeah, it was Schroeder.
It's almost the same incident that happened between Davidson and Matthias Lauda.
Yeah.
That. So yeah, definitely looking like it's maybe a racing incident more than anything else.
You know, a part of me really wants Briscoe to have an engine failure or something, just because of just the chaos display. I really shouldn't say.
Okay, you're just a sadistic guy. Got it. Anyway, Torricello leads by 0.3 of a second. A further 0.6 behind is his teammate Fabio Carbone. This could go absolutely any way. As round the outside at Lowfield for Christian Klein. Torricello caught napping, and now he's under pressure from his teammates. Could this now be the moment that Christian Klein is going to try and push now for the final 4 laps to take another race win in this GP2 series?
That is the move for Christian Clay. Oh, and Carboni is also ahead of Tocatello.
He has indeed. He's got up the inside through Cop's corner, and now Carboni on the attack. He's up to second. Can he potentially not only take his first points, not only take his first podium, but can he take his first race win in GP2? 3.5 laps to go here, and it's between Fabio Carboni and Christian Klein as Enrico Tocatello seemingly falling back. A loss of time here. Johan Koisma still hasn't pit. I think there's been some sort of miscommunication between the two of the pit wall and the team and the car and driver, and as such this could be a bit of a painful and sour note for Johan Koisma. Kovalainen then in 6th with Valander 7th and James Courtney picking up a solitary point as it currently stands, although if Koisma is disqualified then Briscoe would also take a point unless João Paulo de Oliveira has anything to say about it. Kosuke Matsura also closely involved in that potential to score another point in this season. He got his best result of the season so far in Monaco with a 4th place finish despite getting a penalty, just about held on ahead of Johan Koisma, who we have been talking about hasn't actually boxed so far in this race. Thank you Casey for that one.
Insane to see what Supernova's made with Koisma. If he doesn't pit anytime soon, that is his race done for. That will not be a good result, and Koisma's not going to be happy.
3 laps to go then.
Just look at the difference between Kataoka and Koisma and Tocatello and Koisma. He knows he has to pit. He has no tires, but the team is just keeping him out. They don't really know what the team is thinking, but they have to act quickly if they want to finish the race.
Christian Klein then, with a 2-second lead, is starting to pull out an advantage ahead of Fabio Carboni. The gap had dropped to as low as 1.2 seconds, but Carboni seemingly running out of pace and running out of tyres to catch up to Christian Klein. This could be Christian Klein's race to lose now at this current stage, unless he has some sort of mechanical failure, of course. We've seen on the last lap, just last race at Monaco, where Jaime Mello retired on the very last lap, hopefully for Mirage Motorsport. Unlike that retirement from 8th place, it won't happen again for the race win, as Kovalainen now put under pressure from his teammate Tony Valander. He'll be pretty annoyed, Kovalainen, if he is overtaken by his teammate, as he needs every point that he could possibly get. He does. So Kosuke Matsura up to what would be 9th place if Koisma isn't going to box before the end of this race. And now João Paulo de Oliveira is now under pressure from Toshihiro Kaneishi and Vitantonio Liuzzi, who's tried to make somewhat of a comeback drive, but to little effect. 2 laps to go, and the two Colonis now battling over the final 2 podium places in this race. 2nd and 3rd yet to be decided between Carboni and Tocatello. They've got a 6-second gap to Koisma and a 10-second gap to Kataoka, who is the nearest driver to them, who has stopped in this race. And Koisma not scheduled to box on the end of lap 29 either, so it's likely that he'll get disqualified from this race for not making a pit stop. Definitely looking like some sort of problem between him and the team. As now Tocatello looking towards the inside of Fabio Carboni. We've seen that move plenty of times so far this race, and now Tocatello takes that place ahead of his teammate. Christian Klein, though, 5.5 seconds up the road. It's almost definitely certain that he will take victory here today, and it will be very tight in terms of the championship standing. There goes James Courtney, not only up the inside of Kovalainen, but also up the inside of Kataoka. We were just talking about how Kovalainen needs every point that he could get. Tony Valander, meanwhile, has overtaken all 3 of them. He's up into 5th place. Where has that come from, the Finn? He's now coming to what seems to be a purple patch of form for him, as he's scored 3rd place in Monaco and now looking forward to a potential 5th place in Silverstone, as 4th place, as Johan Koisma is not looking like he's going to stop on the end of this lap, and if he doesn't, then he's
disqualified. He is getting executed and probably taking one of the team with him, because he is not pitting. The team is not making the call. That is over for Koisma.
It certainly seems so, as Christian Klein with a 4.5 second gap. He certainly seems to be keeping the car, maybe not pushing it 100% to try and save the car to get it to the end of this final and 30th lap, as Christian Klein now just 4.5 seconds between him and Torricello, and just a couple of kilometers away from taking a second victory in GP2, I think this would be, for Christian Klein. Torricello, though, closing in that gap. Maybe Christian Klein managing that gap, it would seem, as he now heads towards the Abbey chicane for the final time. We'll have a look further back.
The only thing that is stopping Klein from winning is an engine failure, but we've only had one engine-related failure, and it was with Melo.
It seems that Liuzzi just made a mistake there and has just lost out to João Paulo de Oliveira. Meanwhile, for Christian Klein, it has been a chaotic race in which he had to pit earlier on, as well as a lot of other drivers, but the good work of the pit crew certainly helped Christian Klein towards the front of the field, but the rest of it has been done by the Austrian himself. He now rounds the final corner for the final time to take victory in GP2 once again here in Silverstone. He wins by 1.5 seconds ahead of Enrico Torricello. It's a 2-3, a double podium for Coloni, as Fabio Carboni finally gets on the board for Coloni. Kuisma will be disqualified after not making a pit stop in this race. That means Verlander will be 4th, Courtney 5th, Kataoka 6th, Kovalainen in a lowly 7th, and Ryan Briscoe will complete the points. Matsura will just miss out in 9th, with Kaneishi in 10th, João Paulo de Oliveira in 11th, Liuzzi, who was looking on course to try and get a good result, will be in 12th, as Bruni in 13th, Davidson 14th, Schroeder across the line in 15th, with Matthias Lauda and Bernhard Aunger, the two Austrians, at the back, with their fellow compatriot winning this race. They'll be down in 16th and 17th.
When did Kaneishi get into P11 before the Quizma disqualification? I completely lost track of him.
Bro has not been watching the race.
No, I have been. The only thing is that last time I checked, Kaneishi was P16. And all of a sudden, my guy is in P10. My man.
And across the line for Bernhard Aunger, it's a sad day for Arden, with neither driver even close to scoring points. But it is Christian Klein taking victory here in Silverstone. If you enjoyed the stream of GP2 today, make sure to like. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, as we're closing in on 1,000 subscribers. That's going to be all from me in today's stream. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to join the Discord, as you'll be able to find out earlier and in advance the championship standings after this GP2 round in Silverstone. Be sure to join the Discord, as just linked in the chat below. But that's going to be all from me.
This man as well for 94.
And that's going to be all from Jose as well.
Yeah, that's Giuseppe and Grace for everyone. I am out for the day. I still need to do some shit here, so no VC for me later.
So that is going to mark the end of this GP2 race. And next stream will be Sunday, 6 PM GMT. And once again at the Silverstone circuit, but this time for Formula 1, the British Grand Prix of 2004. Be sure to join me then. But that's going to be all from us today. And goodbye.